Watch this. Nicholas, just in time. The director tells me you were the top of your graduating class. We have a new case. Local law enforcement has requested our help due to the brutality of the kill. Lauren Marshall, 24, single, worked as a book publicist. Her body was found in a parking lot less than a block away. The butcher is back.
Good morning, Meadow. It's such a shame. You were such a beautiful girl. I mean, you still are, even with the scar on your face. Bitch.
You think because you're so pretty you can have whatever you want? Take and take. Steal what doesn't belong to you.
I don't. I promise. I didn't steal anything. Please don't.
First, you are beautiful. I stopped to touch the side of her face, a feather-like trace of her scar. This doesn't make you any less so. You are strong, and I don't care how long it took you. You did it. Pulled yourself together and survived. I'm sorry this is happening, but I'll make sure you're safe.
You better be real, Special Agent Nick Clark, because if you're not, my life is one big nightmare.
Loving. Oh, I need to add you to the Riley Edwards. Hi.
Hey.
You know what? Just from that first thing, let me take you through Riley Edwards' adventure while watching me try to orchestrate this live. First of all, Riley didn't know about the live until, I don't know, you may have known about it, but I invited Riley like this morning. I thought, why wouldn't I? Like, we're talking about saving Meadow and the whole Next Generation series. Why wouldn't I ask Riley to join us? And so at the total last minute I asked, and you were gracious enough to say, yes, I'll do it. So I really appreciate that. And since then, I've just been pulling things out of my ass like I always do. And excuse me.
Is that painful or are you?
No, but we're going to talk about a little bit more about like, this is going to be our butt stuff live today. There will be lots of that discussion as we go along. But anyway, what was I saying? So I had messaged Devin Grace, who's my co-narrator on this whole series, asking her last night if she would be willing to join us. And she said, oh yeah, I would love to. I said, hey, would you like to do this tomorrow night? Well, it was late when I had texted her, and I didn't even think about the fact that when she texted me back, it was this morning. And I realized that I said, hey, will you want to join us tomorrow night? And, or I said, would you like to join me tomorrow night? Because I hadn't asked you yet. Then she said, so when she got the text, it was today, and she thought it was tomorrow, Monday.
Oh.
So I'm like texting the hell out of her. And I finally called her while that cool trailer was on and said, hey, are you planning on being here? And she goes, that's tomorrow. And I said, no, I'm sorry, it's tonight. So when she gets here, I'm going to have to apologize profusely to her for inviting her into the chaos that is my mind. But we're here.
Yeah, well, that's great. She gets to join us.
Yeah, she'll be here in about 10 minutes. So that's going to be really cool. But I'm really glad that you're able to hang out and spend a little time on Sunday. I appreciate you taking time away from the fam to hang out with me. And you were like up until just like moments ago, you were at the store.
I messed up the times because when you said 7 Central, I'm like, sure, that's like 6 o'clock my time. And I've been out shopping with my daughter all day, and for some reason, I thought I better check that. And sure enough, Queen Becca,
Oh yeah.
posted the times, and I'm like, holy shit! I'm now on Pacific. That means that's 5. And I was at the grocery store and like running around. I don't even know what I got. My daughter's unloading it
Oh,
now.
I felt bad because I knew I was like, you know what? Here I am like throwing this stuff at her like last minute, and now she's like running around like
No, it was totally my fault. This whole moving to the west, back to the West Coast, or I guess I'm not
yeah,
technically West Coast because I'm now Idaho, but
yeah, much yeah,
it's
much
just
further
thrown me
west
for a
now.
loop. Oh yeah.
Why is everybody moving to Idaho? I mean, Idaho is just like the place. I think it's the number one state with people
Hmm.
moving in.
Because it's beautiful.
Mm.
It is beautiful here. Coming from California, moving over to Maryland, the one of the things that struck me is Maryland is flat where I lived on
Oh.
the Eastern
Mhm.
Shore. No mountains, no hills, flat, open fields. It was beautiful, but I really
Yeah.
did miss the mountains. And now it's nice to be back in the mountains
Yeah,
and
it's
around lakes, and it's beautiful here.
the pictures that you sent of your place really, yeah, really made me jealous. I bet you that helps you write better. Like,
It does. If I could show you, my husband built me this really, I don't want to call it a she shed, but it's a she shed. This really cool office, and
mhm,
my view out into the forest is just beautiful. I'm just surrounded by trees.
that's
So,
beautiful. Well, I mean, just
yeah.
your room looks like a really comfortable place that's like it's just made for writing.
Yeah, can you
So,
see back there?
Jessica,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
to Jessica, yes, this does tie back into the TikTok that I did. I don't know if you saw this, Riley, but
Mm-mm.
um, so I was a little sleep deprived. I went. Oh, by the way, so this is a glass of bubbly. I do have my whiskey, but
I'm
first
drinking
I had.
bubbly too.
Oh yeah, hey, that's a kick-ass uh uh
My Yeti.
thing. Yeah, I borrowed one
Yeah.
from my daughter, and it keeps things cold forever. But
I swear by them. They are so expensive. And I thought it was going to be
mhm,
such a ripoff. I'm like, I am not spending $30 on a cup.
mhm.
And I broke down because everyone talks about how cool they are. Uh, uh, the ice in that will last me all day long.
Yeah,
They're
that's
awesome.
exactly. So I
Hmm.
went to last week. My daughter is moving back to St. Louis from
Hmm.
Houston, and
Oh,
so I'm
good.
about as happy as I could imagine being. But she called me last week and said, "Dad, we could use a little help." And they were just it was just kind of like it came to crunch time, and they needed help getting over getting over that final hump. So I flew down so that I
Hmm.
could drive her car back, and and then she could fly back to St. Louis with the babies. And
Hmm.
so from like Wednesday morning until Friday morning, it was just like nonstop packing and loading and then driving.
You're
So
such a good dad.
I'm happy. I'm a happy grandpa because I get to spend time with my grandkids
Yeah.
and do all sorts of fun stuff and like hide all of the the actual work that I do from them so that they don't know what grandpa really does in this studio. But anyway, so my first glass is bubbly in celebration of my family coming back to live in St. Louis. So cheers to my daughter and her husband and my 2 grandkids.
Awesome. Cheers. Yeah.
So there's that, but it was I did this thing. I, I tried and I got it from somebody that is totally legit, um, but I've always wanted like, I know that I have ADD or
Hmm.
ADHD or something along, there I also smoked a lot of pot in high school, so that might have something to do with it, but I, I mentioned that I have this, and he goes, "Well, I take Adderall. Do you wanna try one of my Adderall?" And I thought, "Yeah, I'll try that." And so I took it, but I waited until I was driving back from Houston, and that thing, like I took it right. I was about, I don't know, 8 hours into the drive, and when I took it, I just like felt great. I was all energized and ready to go, and I thought, oh, I'll just drive this whole 14 hours straight through. And so my wife called me when I was in like North Little Rock, and she said, "No, I don't want you driving." And if you do, like she did the guilt trip on me. Uh, she goes, if you drive, then I'm not gonna be able to sleep for the rest of the night worrying about you." And I said, "All right, fine. I'll um I'll check into a motel." Well, I was like buzzing from this stupid Adderall. And so I just sat there like, the old cocaine day. I don't know if you ever did drugs, but I did. And like I had a flashback to my drug days when I would like sit there like a loser, like trying to go to sleep while my heart's pounding, watching, just like staring up the ceiling, counting all the
All the brain
popcorn on.
cells popping in your head.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible. And so that was me trying to sleep. I checked into this, Super 8 motel, trying to sleep, and, I got, like, a grand total of, like, an hour sleep. But it was that surface level sleep where you're, like, trying to, and you kind of nod off, but you don't really.
Hmm.
So I hit the road. I haven't forgotten the point of this story. It just takes me a little while to get there. But, so I hit the road, and I thought of this thing. Um, I thought, like I had sent somebody a message saying, "Oh, you know what? It might have been Becca." So Becca Manuel is the person who put together that trailer that you guys
Hmm.
saw at the beginning of this live. And she does such amazing work, and I think I sent her a message and I said, "Becca, that trailer is amazing," and then she's got all these different trailers about the Next Generation series all over TikTok and Instagram, and she's just
Hmm.
like a machine, and she does this amazing work, and
Yeah.
I told her that. Um, I said, "Becca, you do just amazing work, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, I promise." Well, as I was driving along, I'm like, where the hell did that phrase come from? Blowing smoke up your ass. Like, I mean, you can imagine like where a lot of different things came from. Like, you know, I used to think, and I learned the truth after posting this thing on TikTok, but I used to think that that the phrase, the whole 9 yards.
Hmm.
I thought that was from like World War One days when the machine gunner would be loading bullets into the machine gun. They came in straps of 9 yards. And so
Hmm.
if you were really, if you wanted to destroy the enemy and you were just going, full tilt, you gave them the whole 9 yards.
Hmm.
I guess that's not what it really means. What it really means is that back in the Victorian days, when somebody ordered a dress and they wanted a really, really fancy ball gown, um, they would the seamstress or the tailor would use all 9 yards of the bolt of fabric in order to make that dress. That's where it came from. So hey, look who's here. Devin
Hi!
Grace, hi. and
Hey.
and I
Nice
got
to
to
meet
apologize to you right away, Devin, because now as I think about it, I realize you didn't get the text that I sent until this morning,
Right.
because I probably sent it like, in the middle of my third whiskey at like 11:30 at night. And so you thought that when I said, "Hey, would you like to join me tomorrow?" that I really meant, "Would you like to join me on Monday?" So
Yep,
so I'm
that was
glad you're
it.
here, and
Oh,
thank you
thank
for and
you.
thank you
Thanks
for
for
coming.
having me.
I'm just so happy that you're both here, and it's really cool to hang out with you. But so anyway, I was telling Riley about the origin of the phrase "blowing smoke up your ass."
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
and have you heard that? You've heard that phrase.
Oh, sure.
Did you ever wonder where it came from?
Why not? Yeah.
Okay. So so I was just kind of like spitballing, and I don't, I didn't know, I didn't really know where it came from, but I thought maybe it was like some kind of a medical procedure because I couldn't imagine that somebody, and so I had two theories. One theory would be like, if you've ever seen those billows that they used back in the day to blow into the thing, well, the nozzle on that thing,
Fire.
if you were one of those, yeah, to start a fire, if you were the type of person who liked to stick things in your butt, and maybe, I mean, there are a lot of people that are like experimental, might look at a nozzle like that and go, wonder, when you're alone, nobody else in the cabin, you might say to yourself, nobody's around. I mean, the dog won't be able to tell anybody. So what do you think? And so they tried it and they're like, that feels okay. But one of the times that they did it, they accidentally pulled some smoke in. And when they put it in their butt, some of the smoke went out. And it's like, who knows? I mean, maybe smoke in your rectum is like cocaine or something. Is like, whoa. And also, like, maybe that's where the phrase holy smoke came from. Like, holy smokes. That was just my thought. And
So
so
it's a
I
double
I
dip. Okay, yeah.
That was after, an 8-hour drive, some Adderall, and maybe a whiskey or two in there.
yeah, I don't know if you saw that part, Devin, but so that was, and so that's lesson number one. Don't share your thoughts when you're on, like 2 hours sleep and some kind of a, medication. But anyway, yeah, so it turns out that's a thing, that it really was a thing. And like, why on earth anybody would do that? They had these kits for drowning victims. And if somebody drowned, they would take this billows with smoke and blow it in their rectum. True story. It's a real thing. They would blow it in their rectum. And
Oh,
what their logic was, and I got to tell you, I mean, I think like uh what's opium and laudanum and like drugs were like freely accessible back in those days. That's the only thing I can think of, is that these people were all on drugs, and so that they would go, did you ever try blowing smoke up his ass? Maybe that'll make him feel better. Then if they're like, all right, well, let's try it. And so they did. And their logic was that it would like dry up your insides and allow you to live. I mean, I can't see how that,
Hmm.
would have, but I mean, it became a thing for a period of time where they actually did that
and when was this?
Yeah.
in the 1700s.
Thank God
There's
I didn't live in the 1700s.
Well, I mean, there was like so many different things that they would do. Like they would put leeches on you, or they would like bleed you.
Right.
And George Washington almost died when he was young because he got dysentery, and he got sicker and sicker and sicker, and they kept bleeding him and bleeding him and bleeding him, and he nearly died. Not as much from the dysentery, but as from them, doing the bloodletting on him.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, we're doing a lot better now. I think that most of the things that we do make at least a little bit of sense. So, I think the medical is better. So, Devin, I want to tell you that I'm low on whiskey. So
Wow.
you're gonna need to send some back. But I am drinking this in honor of Devin Grace, who brought me this whiskey when we were at Allure in Chicago. So I thought
Yeah.
that
Did
was
you
really
guys have a
sweet.
fun time there?
It was cool. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. How about, did you enjoy it, Devin?
Yeah, I did. I really did. Of course, the best part was hanging out with you, finally meeting you in person in
Of course. Yeah.
IRL, as the kids say. And yeah, that was really cool. And that hotel was so cool. It was a historic
Mm.
hotel in
Oh
Chicago,
yeah.
and so many awesome pictures of past presidents and movie stars
Mhm.
and things like that who had been there. And it's just really,
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Palmer Hilton, I think, was built in the 20s, and so it was all
Mhm.
very Art Deco, and
Yeah.
they've got this really cool, Art Deco uh, door in the front of the hotel. So it was pretty cool. It was a really good time. So
Yeah. But then,
um,
Riley, you were at the other conference in DC, that big conference.
No, the last one I went to was in where was I? Kentucky.
Oh,
mm,
Kentucky. Okay.
that's the
Yeah.
authors in the bluegrass or something.
Nope, I went to the one before that to Knockout. There was
Oh,
two. We had there was like back-to-back Kentucky signings. I went to the first one, which was Knockout, and that was in
mhm.
Louisville.
Oh, okay,
So yeah,
okay.
It's so
yeah,
pretty. I
that
love
was a good
Louisville.
time. Yeah,
You
it was,
did.
and it was in a beautiful hotel. It was at the Galt
Mm.
House, so it's a gorgeous hotel right there on the river. And yeah, it was a
Beautiful.
great signing. It was a lot of my people, a lot of romantic suspense authors were
Oh,
there, so it was
Do
awesome.
you, do you do a lot of
oh,
signings?
No, I don't.
No. Did
That was I'm doing two next year. One in Colorado and one in Florida, and that's it. I'll do two a year.
You're going to be the one in Colorado?
Hmm.
I will go to that.
ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'll be cool.
readers
Devin, you
to
should go.
Denver.
Do you think you'd be able to make it? It's
Heck
in
yeah, I
March,
love
right?
Colorado.
It's in March,
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
in March. Yeah, it's on my birthday.
Oh
Really?
my gosh.
Then
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. So yeah, we'll go. I'll definitely make it out
yeah, it's
there.
gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
Because
it's a
skiing,
huge signing, huge, and lots of really big name authors are
yeah,
gonna be there. So I'm gonna be tucked away in the corner
aw.
beautiful. Well,
amongst
you
all
know
the
what,
bigs.
Yeah, but
you
that's
are
a
the
great
big
people watching spot sometimes.
Riley.
Yeah.
I mean, you are such a prolific writer. I can't
Whew.
believe how how you write really well,
Well, thank
and
you.
like your series just come out like if it just feels like yesterday that I was reading the 707 series, and then
I know.
now Devin and I are doing the Next Generation series. And if you're familiar with the 707, then you'll love the Next Generation series because these are the kids of the originals. And
Hmm.
and that's kind of trippy too, because I got to play the parts of
Of the
Jasper and
dads,
Clark and
yeah.
all of these guys and tell their stories about how they fell in love and all that. And now with the Next Generation series, I'm like doing their kids' stories, which
Oh,
is
that's cool.
which is really cool. So
Yeah.
I'm so
yeah,
glad I
so
get to voice some of them too. They're some of my favorites to
yeah.
play
Oh,
with.
that's so awesome. Thank you. Yeah, and I
I
mean
love
everyone I've been getting tons of messages about Meadow and how much they love the narration. You guys are
Mm.
doing such a great job. I mean, Instagram's constantly getting messages over on Instagram, and my advanced listener team has Honor now, and
Oh,
they're
cool.
sorry, my hair is blowing in my face. Sorry, and yeah, they're totally digging Honor too.
Oh,
Good deal.
awesome.
Well, I
I've
like
loved
that.
Yeah,
It's
every book. It's been a
yeah.
pleasure to get in the booth and get soaked into the story. It's awesome.
Yeah, you know what, Devin, I think that you do a really good job of making these characters so distinct from each other. Like Meadow sounds completely different than Quinn, and I mean, I think you do a really good job with all of and Justice. I think that these all these characters are that you do a good job of making them like completely different
Oh,
and giving them their own
yeah.
personality.
thank you for that. Coming from you, Troy, that means so much to me because I just sit here in awe of you. And as I was just, I'm in, what are we doing now? Quinn, Keeping Quinn.
Mm.
And I know there are so
Mhm.
many guys in that book. And I'm just like, oh my God, there's more men. I'm like, I can't
I
keep
know.
Yeah.
and all these men, all these male voices. It's so fun.
Yeah, it really is a blast, to read these stories. And then I mean it's cool for me to like, I get to do the voices
Oh,
of the dads who I
Yeah.
did originally when they were younger, but now I get to make them sound older because the kids are sounding like, well, I mean they're not kids, but I mean, they're kids to me because they're all
Right.
in their 20s, so they could be my kids. So
Mhm.
yeah, it seems like a lot of people love Jasper.
Oh,
And
Oh, yeah.
Jasper, yes.
I think I don't know. I think Jasper might have been my favorite character, next to Clark. I think I liked Clark because he wasn't a real talkative guy, but when he talked, it was important. But
Yeah,
Mhm.
Jasper he was just funny. Yeah, he
yeah,
always had a quick word, so I thought that was pretty cool.
So
I'm
yeah.
trying
Jasper is
to.
the reason why I continued writing the whole series or the next
Really?
generation, because readers were emailing me how much they love Jasper and really, was into his character. And I thought, well, they all have these kids, so I could keep Jasper and give my
Mhm.
readers more of Jasper if I write the kids. So he is the reason why I continued on with the story.
That is
Nice.
so cool. Oh my
Yeah.
Yeah.
gosh.
So
So what
it's totally interesting the way with each series, like the readers, and I never know, like who I think the favorite character is going to be is never who the reader's favorite character
oh
is
my
in the
god,
Yeah.
series.
that's amazing.
Um, but it's funny how each series they all have, like if you go into my Z Corp, they all love Zane. My readers love, I love Zane,
Mhm.
but and then the 707 Next Generation series, it's all about Jasper. But
Huh.
it's
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
That
That is
is
and
pretty
so
cool.
I didn't write it that way. I didn't think about it. I just yeah, just happens.
That's
I love
nice.
that.
Yeah,
I love
it's
that.
cool. I guess I mean everybody has their own character that they identify with the most. So
Hmm.
Mm,
I mean, I guess it makes sense that there would be like different people would sympathize or empathize with their characters. So
Hmm.
mhm.
which one of the main female characters do you identify most with, Riley? And I'm gonna
Oh
ask you
my
the same question, Devin.
oh, don't.
Oh man, that's so hard.
No, don't make us do it, Troy.
So I honestly, I think probably Quinn. I
Mm.
just had to look at all the covers to
I
to
was gonna
remember
say that
to.
Yeah.
too.
I think Quinn, personality wise,
Hmm.
she's outspoken. She just kind of blurts out what she wants. She says what she wants. Kind of out of her sisters, she's the most,
Hmm.
uh, yeah. But then when you get to Liberty's book, I do share some personality traits with Liberty.
Hmm.
But definitely Quinn.
Yeah. How about you? How about you, Devin?
Uh, yeah, oh gosh, I really like Quinn too. Okay, I'm gonna say Tuesday because she's such a ball buster. And
Yeah.
I loved doing that book. I was just like, "Oh, please let me do this every day." I was just so great. And then the rest of the story.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, what is the gal who's the FBI agent?
Mercy?
Mercy.
Yeah.
Mercy.
Mercy.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
think her too. There are some elements of Mercy for sure, but definitely there's some Quinn. Like I'm finding every character, there's a little bit of something in there that I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Mhm."
Yeah. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
Mercy is like to me, I think she was the most intriguing character because she was kind of like she was difficult to get to know.
Mm,
And once you did, I mean it was worth it. But I think that's that was what made her so attractive to me.
yeah, but the road rage in, in Tuesday's book, I'm just like, "That's me every
Yeah.
day driving around here." Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
totally. Mm,
Yep.
And by the way, there's I don't know what the trick is when you're on Facebook. uh StreamYard gives you the option whether or not you want anybody to know who you are as you're watching the StreamYard. So we'll see a lot of like Facebook user things, and I think you have to like give
Hmm.
StreamYard permission to use your profile name and pic. So you're not in the witness protection program. You're just uh you just need to give them permission. But anyway, so they ask how long have I been narrating? And probably the short answer is like forever. when I was a baby. I know that my mom told me that there was a like when she would go get gas, there was like this gas station attendant who used to call me the politician because I was always in there in my high seat or my booster seat, like talking a mile a minute, but nobody can
To
understand what
yourself?
I'm saying. To myself, yeah, and anybody else who would listen. So not much has changed, but
Just
so
doing in
I
a
think
padded room.
yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, I was always
Exactly.
talking. But I tell you, so like my friends in high school used to, they, in the beginning they would say, and they probably regretted it. They said something like, you should be a radio guy because you can like talk a lot about anything or nothing. And I guess I took them at heart, and I was like always like every time we'd go by a billboard, I would like announce the billboard. And at a certain point in time, they're like, shut the fuck up, Troy. We are so tired of listening to you talk. But so I think my first narration was like in 2011 or 2012. So
Wow.
yeah, and
Wow.
and then yeah, I mean, ever since then, I've just been doing a lot of narrations because I love it. I mean, it's so much fun. Like I get to do all these read all these different stories out loud, and it's always something different every time. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, you
so
are
I love it.
busy.
Yeah, yeah. Still no excuse for my terrible lack of planning, but I love it. So I guess that conference is called Readers Take Denver.
Correct.
So that it? Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go. I think a friend of yours sent me an email is how I found out about it. And so I said, yeah, let me check with my wife and see what she thinks if she would like to go. And Sheila said she would love to. So we might actually try to get some skiing in too.
Oh,
So
wow.
Cool.
I mean, we have to before, like my knees already, like, just going up and down stairs is a problem for me. So maybe if I can start working out and doing and never skipping legs day, then I can ski again. Do you either one of you ski?
Mm-mm. I
No,
ice skate.
you're ice skater?
Yeah, I love to ice skate, yeah.
Are
And I used
are
to
you
play
good?
hockey when I was a kid, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
Just
wow.
like scrappy hockey, we'd shovel off a pond and we'd put together a game, and mostly my brother would stick me in goal, so tell me
You-
not to let any go by me.
You're a tough girl. Like the goalie is the toughest position to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, well, I think he just wanted to take a few shots at me, but whatever. We
Yeah,
were
well,
young. It's
that's the way
crazy.
you can. Yeah, that's where you can beat up on your kid brother or kid sister and not get in trouble. Be like,
Exactly.
Mom, we were just playing
"Mom, he
hockey.
was in goal, it wasn't my fault." Yeah, totally.
So so now we have
Yeah.
everybody is telling us their uh their plans for next year.
Oh,
So
cool.
Julianne Price, I think that it's going to be March 8th or something
March
like that.
30th.
March 30th. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
30th.
that. Somebody's already got their ticket. So the
Oh,
end of
great.
March. That'll
Yeah.
be nice.
End of March.
Beautiful. Well, that'll be nice. We'll be able to drink together and
Absolutely.
Yeah, or raise a toast.
yeah, it might be a problem that I like the first thing I think of is like getting a drink with people. But that's something I don't have to worry about for a little while. So
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, after you guys do Liberty's book and you figure out, poor Troy has all of the men from this series plus all of the men from the next series get introduced. So I think
oh
there is 15 men in
Oh
Taking
my
Liberty's book. I'm gonna owe you both a drink. So first
wow.
round is on me.
Yeah, we'll have to take you
Okay,
up on that. That'll be
okay,
perfect.
Yeah,
fair.
because wait for that. I'm will not be answering your hate mail when you start sending it to me.
God damn it, Riley.
Yeah, I know you got 15 guys in there. So good
Yeah.
luck with that.
All right. Well,
Yay.
I I've got at least 4 personalities in me, so I'll just give each one. Oh, so the Stanley and Estes Park, Colorado is where The Shining was filmed. Oh,
Right.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
another great question, Riley. What about so both you and Devin, Riley, who's your favorite author? which author made you say, I'm going to start writing?
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, there is so many. Oh my gosh. I don't know. So my favorite romance author that really just in my genre that made me want to start writing is Susan Stoker.
Hmm.
So Susan, Abby Zanders, Marianne Jordan, like I'm huge fans of theirs. And they kind of, after reading all of their books, they kind of really gave me the bug. Before that, I'm a huge Nicholas Sparks fan.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm in this love-hate relationship with him.
Hmm.
Seriously.
Mhm.
I love his work, and as I'm reading it, I want to throw the book across the room. When he kills off the main character, I just,
Oh
hate
yeah.
that. But I
Hmm.
keep going back for more.
Hmm.
Um,
That's how he gets you.
so yeah,
So
yeah, and I'm like
Nicholas,
so invested. I'm always like so
yeah.
invested in these books. And then I'm like, oh, I know these people are going to live happily ever after. He's not going to do it again. Oh, the son needs a liver transplant. And, the next chapter, the main love interest dies to give, the son the liver. I'm like, fuck,
Mhm.
Oh
I hate
no.
you people.
Yep.
I need to read
Yeah,
Nicholas Sparks. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
it's horrible.
And
Yeah. Okay. Well,
yep.
yeah, then I definitely have to read Nicholas Sparks.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
how about you, Devin?
Yep. Well, my favorite all-time book is, To Kill a Mockingbird. That just I just loved that book.
Okay.
But then I read a ton of Stephen King actually when I was a kid. Not a
Mhm.
kid, but as a teenager. Loved Stephen King. I loved Nicholas Sparks. Um,
Yeah.
I got into Mary Kay Andrews jag there for a while. I was just I was just like they were like comfort food to me or something. And
Mhm.
recently I've been in a more of a rom-com mood, so I've been reading
Mhm.
the Abby Jimenez books, and they've just been
Mhm.
fantastic, and the audiobooks are fantastic too, so I've been double dipping.
Oh,
I do
nice.
that quite a bit. I'll read the book and listen to the audiobook.
Do you do it at the
Mhm.
same time?
No, no, I'll usually do one or the other, and then sometimes I'll read the book first, and then I'm really curious to hear it in audio, so then I'll go listen to the audiobook,
You
or
know,
vice versa.
I think so. Tiffany Porter is here, and Tiffany reads her books at the same time as she listens to the books. And
That's
she
Yeah.
cool
says,
too.
yeah, she says it's kind of like getting high while you're watching The Wizard of Oz, while you're eating pizza and ice cream. So just a
Okay.
thought. She didn't
Alright.
actually say that. I'm
No,
just
she
putting words in
didn't.
her mouth, but I imagine that might be what it's like.
I
Yeah.
have done that when I'm curious to see I need to visualize, and I'm always a visual learner. Um,
Mhm.
I wanna see how this narrator saw it on the page and then gave that performance. So I will do that
Mhm.
sometimes,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's always really interesting. Yeah.
that is kinda cool. And, maybe that's why I don't listen to audiobooks very much. I did listen to, like, a bunch of Neil Gaiman. I read,
Mm,
or I listened to The Sandman and, American Gods,
mhm.
and, I love them. I thought they were just so good, but they're so good that I just, like, I didn't, like, think about the narrators. I was just listening to the story. But I think if I listened to
Mhm.
audiobooks, it would be really hard for me because I'd be thinking like, "Oh, I wouldn't do it like that. I would do it like this," or, "Oh, I never thought about doing it like that. I would do it, maybe I should try doing it like that." I'd be thinking about it's like being a gynecologist watching another gynecologist do work. You just like it
Yeah.
takes the fun out of
I
it,
mean,
right? So,
yeah, I can see the correlation. Mhm.
yeah, right? And, or proctologist, whatever, pick your favorite profession, but,
Your ologist.
yeah, any ologist, it would just take the fun out of it, but I think that would be the problem for me is, like, listening to somebody narrate a book. I would be, like, listening to their technique and seeing, "Oh, how do they say that?" Or, "Do they enunciate the words right?"
Yeah.
Uh, or the same, or even worse, maybe I would listen to a really great narrator and go, "Oh, man, I suck. I think I just
Mhm.
stop.
Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
happened.
I think I'll go work
Yeah.
at you know, like a grocery store or something, just so that I can not have to do that.
Yep. It
So,
happens.
but
Yeah, no, that's a real thing. Like when I'm writing, I don't read books in my genre when I'm
mm,
writing.
mhm,
Mhm.
Um, because I don't want any plot or any character description. It's like I don't want any of that in my mind as I'm
mhm,
writing. So I don't
Mhm.
read in my genre.
yeah,
And the other problem is like I used to write in Susan Stoker's universe in her world, so I could borrow her characters and put them into my books. And the
mhm,
problem is, so I'd have to read her books and, as I'm
mhm.
writing mine to incorporate her characters. And there are times where I'm like, I quit, I give up. I can't write like this. Like I'm not this good.
Oh,
And so it's
Mm.
like a hit to your, I
mhm.
Yeah.
don't know, that part in your brain where I'm like the imposter syndrome kicks in
Right.
and I'm like, yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I tend to like when I'm writing, I'll read like contemporary or rom-coms. Hey, you like rom-coms, Devin? Have you ever read Pippa Grant?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's hilarious. I
I know.
love Pippa Grant's books.
I do too.
Yeah,
And
she's
actually,
really
there's
good.
an author Troy and I worked on together, Alina Jacobs, who's really funny
Uh-huh.
too. Her
Yeah.
rom-coms are so funny. And
Yeah.
I think I don't know if I'm allowed to say something. So, but yeah, the
Well, now
funny,
you have to say it.
I know, no, I better not.
Come
I
on,
better
you're
not.
among friends. We won't tell anybody. As a matter of fact, so everybody who's watching right now, don't say anything. Go ahead, Devin. You're good. Just tell
I'm
us.
good. Okay. Yeah. So
Just give
no,
us a hint.
I'm working on a Christmas book of hers, and I was crying sometime. I had to come out of the booth.
Really?
My husband hates when I do this, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, "Oh my god, I gotta you have to hear this. It's so hilarious."
Yeah.
And he's like, because he
Yeah.
doesn't really like to hear me doing other voices and things. It creeps him out a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but some of these scenes were just so funny. Yeah, Pippa Grant is amazing too. Just so good.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
I was reading a book. I cannot remember the author's name. It's gonna drive me crazy. It's called Wallbanger is the name of the book. I think
Hmm.
it's like
Okay.
Alice. That book is so freaking funny. I
I'm
laughed
writing
so
it down.
hard until I was crying. There is this scene where she's like on this date and she goes into the bathroom and like there's this raccoon. I'm like, what the fuck? Excuse my language. I'm like, where the hell does a raccoon come from in this bathroom? And it like jumps on. I am laughing so hard. I was reading in the bedroom. My husband comes in. He's like, what are you doing? I could not tell him. Like every time I tried to explain and just say like the word raccoon, I could
Right.
not stop laughing. It just hit me so funny. I had to buy the rest of her series. I love books where I'm just if I am laughing out loud, like over
Exactly.
ridiculousness, that's a book for me.
Yeah.
That's me
Yes.
too. Totally. I wrote it down. I am getting it.
Wall
It's
banger. Yeah, it's hilarious.
it's hard to write
All
that,
right.
isn't it? I mean, is it hard to write? So what is it harder to write like say comedy than it is sex scenes or like what's the hardest part to write in a
Oh, I
book?
don't know. My books aren't funny, so I can't write humor. I'm not funny.
Well, you know, I mean,
I
so, I
don't
mean,
know.
this, you know, some of the scenes, are kind of funny. Like I know that there was a scene in, uh, which one it was with, shoot, what was they were in the truck and they were arguing back and forth about something. I can't remember. The more I drink, the
I
less I
might
remember.
I know I might have a one-liner in there too, but I could not write rom-coms and just be consistently funny. I am
Mm.
not a funny person in real life.
Mm,
But sex scenes for me are the hardest part of the whole book to write would be a sex scene. Like give
yeah,
me an argument or some sort of fight and that's my jam. I love writing arguments. I
yeah.
can fly through those. Like when the two main characters are arguing, fight
Mhm.
anything is yeah,
What,
They're
that's
so
gold to me.
realistic. The
so
dialogue is so
why is it
realistic and
hard
precise.
to write sex scenes?
Because there's only so many ways to have it, so many places to put things, and so
Have
yeah,
you tried smoke in the butt? Like,
it's
that's
no,
something
I
that may actually be a thing.
I have not. No, I haven't. I'll poll my readers though and ask if they want me to include a scene where I blow smoke up someone's ass.
You know what would be a great
I'll, but
idea?
here's my problem. The problem would be I would forget to use lube, and then I would get a slew of emails saying that you can't do butt stuff without lube, and I will have screwed the whole thing up.
Well, it's just don't
So
forget the lube. I mean, I think that, that would be a realistic thing in any sex scene where somebody's like, "Hey, do you have to use lube? Stop it." You have
yeah,
to. Yeah, I mean,
will.
anybody
Yeah,
in a real, in a real situation would do that. But yeah, so I mean, you could what would be really cool is that you would start a a a a, a
a trend.
trend. You would start your own
Yeah,
trend, and
Ooh.
and there's like marketing opportunities in here. You could sell merchandise. You could
with the
sell
billow.
the booty hookah. You call it the booty hookah, right? You guys need to come along with me on this. I think there's some things that come out of a bottle that are like
That would be a no.
no
You
no to
know,
the
no,
booty hookah.
no to the booty hookah. You can market that. You can call it, Troy's booty hookah. I will
Mhm.
help promote that, but
I'll do my own commercials. The booty hookah. Yeah, because you know what? I mean, so all right. So I know it sounds crazy, but
yeah,
think about this. There's so many I mean, how many things in your Facebook feed do you see where people are trying to sell like coffee made out of mushrooms or
mud.
um mud? Yeah. Or
I Yeah, I thought the other day I posted something in my Facebook group, this Brazilian, I thought it was Brazilian bum bum cream. And I'm like,
hmm,
what does anyone think this is? And then apparently it's boom boom, not bum bum, but it's
oh,
spelled BUM. I'm just mispronouncing it. And I was going to buy these little jars to give them away in my group. And so today I'm traveling around and my daughter, Alex, she's like, where did you hear about this? I'm like, Facebook marketing. It
yeah.
works. It's a real thing. And she's
Mm.
like, oh yeah, you mean boom boom? I'm like, oh, so she knew
Oh
all
no,
about
so
it.
your
She's like,
daughter
it
knows about
smells
this.
so good. Yeah, she's like, it
That's the
smells
next
so
yeah, that's the
good.
next question. Like, how do you know about this?
Yeah, I'm like, how do you know? She's like, oh, everyone uses it. I'm like, yeah, it's because I'm lame and I don't
What
know
Is
is
it
it?
in
these
the
things.
orange pot? That one?
Yeah, yeah.
It
It comes in this
smells so
little.
good. Yes.
See,
You use
everybody
it?
knows about boom boom, but me.
What is it
Well,
for?
they sell it at Sephora. They actually have like a perfume of it. It smells so good. It smells like the beach. Ugh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's a lotion.
Is my
Yeah.
mind just like completely I
My
am such a
mind
yeah, I'm
went
such a
to, why do
depraved
you need
individual.
bum bum cream? And people are like, well, it's a firming lotion. I'm like, for your butt? Like, I
Right.
didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking
Well,
maybe so my first thought was like, okay, so this is Nair for your
No.
booty. Just because when you say
no.
Brazilian, when you get a Brazilian, what a Brazilian is like, that's when they wax your right?
That is,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that is something that like I don't know, like I don't know what kind of crime I would have to commit against somebody to deserve a Brazilian, but I would not want to get that. So that would be like a great alternative for somebody who didn't want to actually get an actual Brazilian. I wonder if they make like Nair for Brazilians.
Mm.
Another great idea. That's I mean, I'm coming up with some
Really?
amazing ideas, all
Well,
thanks
good luck
to
So,
planning the event. You're gonna have so
Asbury
much
Distilling
fun.
Whiskey.
so Troy, I'm gonna have to. My phone, my battery is
Oh,
at 1%. I got to switch to my computer, so this is gonna kick me off, and I'm gonna switch over.
okay. Well, yeah, and I won't keep you for very much longer. I don't know how much. I don't know how many more great ideas I have, but yeah, go ahead and switch off and then
Yeah, I
join us
have to
back.
switch over.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
So, Devin, I think we're on to some good stuff here.
I see, somebody commented Troy's merch shop will be coming soon.
Yeah, that's great. Or Tori.
All your
You can call me Tori. I don't mind.
well,
Yeah.
you know, I call my husband's name is Bob. I type Bob all day long because the V is by the B. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's 3 letters and I'm still typing it wrong, whatever.
All right. I
Oh,
want to know
goodness.
who's saying that waxing isn't bad, because waxing is painful. I've tried it before. I got my back waxed,
Uh-huh.
and it's, I mean, it's not a oh, there's Riley. Wow, that was really quick.
Yeah, that's really fast.
Oh,
There
look,
she is.
Riley, look at your at the Facebook, or the at the mobile phone picture that you left us with.
I know. Can we get rid of that?
It's like
Seriously,
it's
Troy,
like
help us with her out.
those
Good Lord.
it's like those Kilroy pictures where like you just have the picture of them over the, or who's that? Who's the neighbor in the Tim Allen show?
Oh,
Yeah.
Wilson?
Wilson.
Wilson, yeah,
Wilson,
yeah,
okay.
you were like Wilson for a second.
You
So
know, me and technology, we don't get along.
Oh,
I
me
don't.
neither.
well, looks great though. You look fantastic.
Yep, she's
Thanks.
back.
So Sahara says that permanent laser hair removal is worth the money. And I will have to say that I agree, because like ever since I was a kid, I had problems with hair growing out of my ear. And as I became middle-aged, it got worse and worse and worse. And so like I was tweezing my ears nonstop. And so finally, like for Christmas one year, Sheila bought me laser hair removal for my ears. And she goes, it's really painful. And I said, Sheila, come on. I can take some pain. I've got a high pain threshold. But what I didn't realize, and so like I would go for the first treatments, and they weren't bad. She was like, was it painful? I'm like, nah, it's fine. What I didn't realize is they make those damn lasers stronger and stronger with each treatment. So
Ah.
yeah, so by the time you get to like your 5th treatment, they're basically just like scorching your flesh from your skull. And yeah, it's like, it's painful. But it is nice. Like I have smooth, you could kiss my ears if you wanted to.
Baby
They
butt
are
smooth.
very
Next time I
smooth.
see you.
So yeah, a lot of people are like, get off my ears. Ladies, stop it.
Ladies,
There's
you
only so
can-
much I can take.
You know,
But,
next time we have a swag table, don't have any swag. Just make a ear kissing booth sign and just poke your ear through there and
kiss my
see
ears.
how you feel.
Yeah.
See how you feel.
I am weird. I am that weird that I would do something like that, but
I know.
but I think that might actually be the worst.
I
So,
actually saw the cutest thing recently. I was at a street fair and they had a little puppy rescue, and they had a puppy kissing booth, and they were holding the puppy through the, and, it was $1, and it was the cutest thing. I was just like, that's adorable.
and who wouldn't? Like, who doesn't
Right?
like to kiss
Oh, that
puppies?
puppy was making bank.
Yeah. Oh, look, I've already got a volunteer for kissing my ear. And then,
An anonymous volunteer.
You put it out
You
there,
can-
Troy. You see?
yeah, you can talk to Sheila about it if you want.
Yeah.
And I mean, if she's game, then maybe that'll be a start of something really fun. But I don't. That would be a hard sell. That might be a little difficult. So, well, listen, I don't want to keep you guys any longer than I already did. I think we're how long have we been on this?
54
Yeah.
minutes.
Oh, that's not bad. So we're almost at about an hour. So that's not too bad. I was for whatever reason I was thinking like, man, I'm really keeping them like for a long time, and I was feeling a little guilty. Tiffany will not let a dog lick her face.
Well, she's really the smart one, truly, but I couldn't resist the puppy.
Tiffany. I couldn't keep my dog from licking my face. And I forget every time, like my damn dog, it's like, he's very affectionate. But I mean, I can't tell you how many times I see him licking his junk. And then the next thing I know, he's licking my face. And then it takes me a couple of minutes to go, wait a minute, you know what? Where's that tongue been? This is disgusting. But
As you get a bacteria infection on your face.
Yeah.
I think dogs have like cleaner mouths. I think it's so another anonymous person. Oh, it's Christine. She's going to be kissing my Troy in Denver.
You know, the thing is about Christine, She
Mhm.
just might.
Okay.
Especially
All right. I'll have to be aware.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
She
that's fine.
just
Oh, so Becca says that Christine and her are in the witness protection program. So,
Oh gosh, that's funny.
oh,
Mhm.
that's sweet. Yeah, so now everybody's in witness protection. Yeah, so Tiffany, yeah, I'm sure that we'll meet in person. Tiffany was the person. So Tiffany won. I gave away a trip to Love in Vegas
Mhm.
not this Love
Yeah.
in Vegas, but next year's Love in Vegas. Tiffany won.
Oh,
She
really?
was the yeah, she wrote the winning scene. So I think
Nice.
we're gonna get to know each other. And so I guess I'm just gonna have to keep my dog away from Tiffany because she's not gonna appreciate the affection.
Are you
So
going to Vegas at the end of this month?
no, no, I'm not gonna make this one. I'll make the next one though. So
Gotcha.
so that'll be cool. I think there's uh like there's a difference between the people who sign and the people who just go. And
Mm,
so
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm just signing up to be a person who goes, but because
yeah.
I think they have like very limited opportunities for people to sign. So
Yeah.
so I think that's cool. I think this is really cool that we're actually facilitating conversations between our Facebook users. I just realized I'm like
I know.
uh, posting comments for the person saying, "Hi, Karen Hoffman. Hi, how are you?" So as soon as Karen Hoffman responds, I'll go ahead and post that on there so we can keep up with the conversation. So they don't. Lauren doesn't buy the thing about the dogs and
Tiffany.
their tongues. But oh, Sarah Beth is going to Vegas. So Sarah Beth was at Allure, and
Oh,
she's
fun.
very cool. We didn't get much of a chance to hang out, but we did for a little bit. But
Mhm.
it was more like just 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there. But she
Yeah.
did some volunteer work at Allure as well. Oh, so
Very
Karen Hoffman says, busy couple of days, overall doing great. Hope you are doing great also. You should include like a haha or something like that.
I know.
You critiquing comments.
Yeah. Um,
I think I might see Karen in Philadelphia in November. I don't have a
hmm.
ticket. I'm going to have a bootleg. I'm just going to meet people in a sketchy corner, like at the Wawa outside
Oh, that's cool.
the
You can
venue.
you can just like read books on the corner
Yeah,
and
yeah. I'm just going to be
Is
out
that
there. And if
Indies
he
and
wants to say
Gateway?
hey, I'll be eating a hoagie or something. I'm sure, but
put out a hat. Yeah,
yeah,
that'll
something.
be cool. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Um, so Riley Rebel's room in Denver. You have your actual room?
So I won't have one in Denver, actually, unfortunately.
Oh.
In Kentucky, I was rooming with Anna Blakely.
Mm.
And if you haven't read Anna Blakely, she's awesome. But I
I've heard
was rooming
all
with
about her,
her.
yeah.
So we had a 2-bedroom suite at the Galt House, and it was
Oh.
huge. It was like an apartment, and it actually
Mhm.
wasn't a 2-bedroom; it was a 4-bedroom.
Wow.
So, yeah, full kitchen, laundry room.
Oh my
It had
gosh.
it was insane. So
That's cool.
we just opened up the doors and invited readers up, and readers just came and went and brought alcohol and brought food and hung out. And so, yeah, we spent
Whoa.
the whole weekend just
Oh,
hanging
that's
out
so
instead of going to
cool.
a bar, which is
Mhm.
loud and uncomfortable. And,
Right.
it really worked out well. Well, in
Wow.
Denver at the Hyatt, I think it's at the Grand Hyatt, they did
Mhm.
not have any suites available.
Mm.
Really? Okay. I guess I
So,
better find out like if there's even rooms available before I can commit to going, right?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there might not be
So,
rooms.
well, there are rooms in the hotels surrounding where the signing is. I
Okay.
just
Mhm.
because I'll have all my books, I
Mhm.
don't want to stay at a hotel down the road and then have to
Right.
Yeah.
transport my books. But
Right.
yeah, I will. I'm doing a signing in, oh my gosh, maybe October in St. Pete. And I will have a
Mm.
suite there and I'll do the same
Wow.
thing. It was
Mm,
so
very nice.
awesome.
That's
I
so
love
cool.
sitting down and being able to talk to readers and have fun. And, they kind of, a lot of them start out as, they're strangers to me. Some of them I don't even, they're not in my Facebook group. I have no communication with them whatsoever. And then they come to the room and we hang out. And by the end of the, weekend, we're friends, and it's really super awesome. So
that is really cool. Yeah. I mean, there's so many people who like, it's like they know you because they read your words. And, they read all these great stories. So it's like they feel like they know you because you're kind of putting your soul in these books, and yet you've never met them. So, it's
the only downside to that is they come to the room, they hang out with me for a few hours, and, they're bringing alcohol up. We're all having a great time. I'm like, God, and then they find out what a dork I really am. Like, I'm such a nerd. I'm like, it was after the signing. I was so tired, makeup came off and hair's pulled up in a bun. I got sweatpants on. I'm like, this is me. Like, but it was, we had a great time.
That's not true, Riley. So cool I think everybody pretty much like already knows you're a dork, and I know. No, I think that would be really cool, just to like spend some time with you in person would be so cool. We've known each other for a good little while.
Yeah, long time now.
Yeah,
wow. You narrated the 707, and we talked when you were doing that. That's produced through. I didn't self-produce those.
Yeah, that was with Tantor, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was Tantor.
So that's how we got to know each other.
Yeah, and I actually had to reach out to Troy. Do you remember when I was writing a character? He ended up not making it in the story. It was a side character, and he was a narrator. And
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, so this is like super embarrassing. I don't know any narrators except for you. Like, can I ask you? And I was not going to reach out to him at all. And my friend Kendall, who listens to all of my audiobooks. She's a huge audio fan. She's like, he's got to be cool. Just message him. I'm like, I don't know about this. And so I reached out to him, like, listen, if this is off the wall and you think I'm like a total crazy person, just tell me to shut the hell up and go away. And I'm good with that. And he's like, hell no, let me tell you about.
That's so Troy. Yep.
Yeah. It had to do with sex, didn't it?
Yeah, about a male narrator. I'm like, how? Because it's written from a female's point of view. And like originally the side character was going to kind of like joke around about it. And I'm like, oh, that might not be in good taste, so.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't write the character in, but.
That's right. Yeah. I'm really glad. Like when you sent me that message and asked me about it. And by the way, I am not forgetting to ask you I need to ask you about Tim.
No.
But, when you sent me that question, I'm like, oh, thank God somebody's asking me about this, because I mean, sometimes I do read, some of these sex scenes, and I think to myself, am I weird? Like, is it just me? But like, I don't know, like, sometimes somebody will write, my spine felt like it was on fire as I was ready to orgasm. And I'm like, that sounds like a medical issue. I don't know that that's something that I would want to like, that I would expect would be part of the experience. But yeah, you asked about it, and I did. I told you about all the things that kind of like maybe go, no, that doesn't happen to me. But maybe it's just maybe it's just something that makes things that make me go home. So you got to tell me, Riley, who is Tim?
I don't know. I have no idea what they're talking about.
You're a liar. You're a big liar. Who is Tim?
I don't know.
I see you look a little bit. Well, actually, I'm like really flushed because I've been drinking whiskey. But you're starting to look a little bit flushed too.
So I wrote Tim in. Oh my gosh, I don't remember what book. I think he started out in a Triple Canopy book, and he helped the heroine. Actually, I can't even tell this story because it'll be like a total spoiler. So there's this side character, Tim. He was not supposed to be anything. And I named him. And that's like the golden rule. If you give a character a name and you better be prepared to give them a story, probably.
Wow.
And so I named the character Tim. And then readers started asking, and I'm like, probably not.
Oh my God.
And a lot of people got in on it. And sometimes I get emails that just say Tim.
That's funny.
Like, it doesn't say hi. It's not signed. It just says Tim.
It just says Tim.
I wonder,
Wow.
if Susan Stoker is making, because she's like the head of this Give Us Tim. Because
I don't know. There's a lot of different. I mean, I see a lot of different posts or comments here. Everybody wants Tim.
Well,
so then people started asking for Tim. So I wrote him into another series, and he's a side character in there. I'm like, there you have it.
Yeah.
Like,
he just wasn't good enough for him.
He has like five sentences in this book, but at the end, my heroine says, "By the way, what's your name?" And he turns around and says, "Tim." I'm like, there you go.
Oh my God, I love it.
That's a really cool story. I love that.
So yeah, I will write Tim's story. I just need to figure out what series I'm going to plop him into, because he doesn't have any ties with any series. So I am starting a new series next year, and I'm thinking that's probably where he's gonna.
The Tim series.
That's going to be your opus.
I love it.
Tim. I know, and I'm like, what if his book sucks? Like everyone wants Tim, and I'm like,
oh, everybody's gonna love this.
Tim. Yeah. But I do get a laugh when I just get an email and all it says is Tim.
Wow. When you do Tim, that is going to be tremendous. And now everybody's saying, Tim sounds intriguing.
Yeah,
Tim. This is a great piece of marketing. Just Tim.
Just Tim. Yeah. Like he really, honestly, I needed a character to help my heroine in this book. And I don't know. So usually I research names. Like when I'm naming my heroes, I, have to put a lot of thought into it. And okay, this is going to be his name, his partner, everyone in the series. And I was just writing, I just chose Tim. I don't, he never was meant to have a story. But fun fact, Tim's name is not Tim. Tim is a nickname, so his name will not be Tim.
Oh, that's funny.
So they say.
It'd be funny if you went to like a Starbucks and you see somebody who's got like the name Tim on their name tag, only it's in quotation marks. You might be tempted to go, "You're fucking with me, aren't you? You're screwing. I know what you're doing." And the guy's like, I ma'am, can I help you? So, hey, you know what I forgot? We have downloads of Saving Meadow to give away.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know how to do that, but we should probably do that before we let everybody go.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Here's Queen Becca.
Anybody got any ideas?
To what?
Come on.
Wait. What are we doing? You have the code. So what? You want a contest on how they win the codes, or
I don't know.
Are you just going to randomly give them away?
Maybe we'll just randomly give them away.
Yeah.
Unless you can think of a way to for us to. So I'll tell you what. All right. So let's do this. Let's have people comment with, and we'll go through this maybe tomorrow or the next day, and comment with your favorite character, and the story, and then we'll pick randomly from them. So that way we know.
Well, don't have it just be one of my books, because what if they've never read me? So what about one of the favorite books that the two of you have narrated, or one or the other, or both of you together? Because you guys narrate a lot of books together.
Yeah, we started to.
Everybody watching might not have read my books, so they're not going to have a favorite character.
Well, yeah.
Whatever Riley wants.
Tim is the right answer if you've never read my books. It's just Tim.
Or you can just write Tim.
or you could write Tim. Oh, I've got a great idea. So, all right, here's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
So Riley needs inspiration for Tim's story. All right. So what I need is, and I don't know how many downloads we can give away, but whatever downloads we will give away, we're gonna pick I want the people here to create Tim's backstory.
Oh,
Tell us who Tim is, where he's from, why he is the way he is, and what he's like.
I
wow.
love
You
it.
you create those stories, and then we will pick the best the best ones
Mhm.
and give the downloads away. Send those to Riley, and then Riley will, she'll maybe split the proceeds with us. No,
And I
no, we'll give them to you for free. They will be all yours, and you will have inspiration for your book, and then we can come back whenever you're done with Tim, and we can celebrate. And
nobody steal my idea. Tim and a raccoon and I'm not sure where.
Right?
So you stole that from Riley's book that she read with the girl that went into the bathroom with a raccoon.
Alice something. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wallbanger. It was hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Wallbanger.
I'm so reading that. I can't.
Yeah,
I
you
can't
have
wait.
to read that. That's awesome.
I will
All right.
report back.
We'll do that. We'll take all of the stories related to Tim and who he is and how he got there, and
Oh, I
we
can't wait
will
to read these.
to the most creative comments. We'll give downloads to Saving Meadow. How's
So
that
I
sound?
just wanted on record for Queen Becca that
Mhm.
this was not my idea, that this was Troy's idea.
Yeah.
So Queen Becca runs everything. Riley's Rebels. I mean, she runs everything, and she's also Troy's. What would you call her? Right hand woman.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, so Becca
she's-
is she's my wizard. She's my video wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. So I just want Becca to, this was all Troy's idea.
Yeah, this would be great. Becca, you'll love it. This will
Yeah,
be so much
Becca,
fun.
it'll be awesome for you.
You know,
I
we
swear,
should have had Becca.
every time I go to message her, I'm like, this is going to be the day where she calls me and says,
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck all this.
Right, I know.
Fuck everything.
I don't remember if it was this morning or yesterday morning. I'm like, so I did something. I didn't mess up your Airtable, which is where she keeps everything like in such perfect, order. I'm like, and I didn't mess up the Dropbox, but I did a thing, and now I'm gonna run away and hide and go write a book, and I'll talk to you later.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah,
your Becca is my Denise.
Yeah,
because I had to get Denise to send you guys the link to the live because I couldn't get into the goddamn thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm like Sunday evening, and Denise has a life. She's she has a family and things to do. But sure enough, I mean, she's like, okay, I'm headed back into town, and I'll get this to them by 6:15 Eastern. Is that okay? And I'm like, yes, thank you. And so she takes care of business. She took my phone call. I was still on my Adderall high and sleep deprived. And I'm like, I've got an idea. We're going to hire proofers to do the work of like 15 people. And like, I'm telling her about all these ideas. And she just sits there and listens to me while I'm driving through, I think I was driving through Knoblich, Missouri. And that's a real name of a town, by the way, Knoblich.
Okay.
And it's not dirty. I think it's just like there's a salt lick where the deer lick the salt.
Yeah.
So it's not it's not a dirty thing. And but it's called Knoblich. Anyway, so I was like, I called Denise, and I can like picture in my head nodding and going, right. Yeah. Sure. And she's probably just like doodling, going, oh my God, when is this guy gonna get off my phone? So
I swear that her and Becca are the same. I'm like, so I'm really sorry I have this idea. And all I could do is picture her going, I'm going to kill her. Oh my God.
Do you
I almost think like when I tell people, well, listen, you have to contact Becca. It's literally because I don't know how to do something, or if I get into her Airtable and it is gorgeous. Like when she first started working with me years ago, it was a holy mess. Like my whole life was a mess. And she has it's so beautiful. It's like color coded. It's gorgeous. She actually has a file that says Riley's junk, and that's the only place.
Oh, that's funny. You know what? I wonder if they drink together.
They should.
Yeah.
They should.
I bet they drink together and they curse us.
Yes. I wouldn't blame her.
Yeah. I wouldn't blame them either. I mean, I really do appreciate everything she does, but I know that she's got to be rolling her eyes every now and then. So.
Becca she's awesome. Yeah.
All right, guys, listen, I'm going to let you go. We've been on for an hour and 16 minutes now, and I was feeling guilty about keeping you for an hour. So thank you for all this. I mean, what a good time. And I really, yeah, Devin, I love working with you, and Riley. These stories are just, they're magic.
Such a gift and have such great stories.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both so much for all your hard work on this series. It's been awesome. You guys are doing a great job.
Yeah, we have a great time doing it, and we're still knocking them out. So so we'll keep doing
another couple, 2 more.
All right,
Plan in Liberty.
Well, thank you. I'm looking forward to reading everybody's stories about Tim. Apparently, Tim is from Noblik, and so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So, thanks again. Happy Sunday, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Great.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
Right.
Thanks.
Good night. Cheers.